Hello. Um, Today I wanted to share something different. So for the project Hackebike, everything will be managed by a control unit. And until now, I was using an Arduino Mega board with a shield for wireless connection and Linux with the Linux operating system. And this will manage the entire bike, the battery management, the sensors, cadence, and so on. Basically, designing a dedicated computer unit for the bike. So until now, I was prototyping using an Arduino Mega. And I reached a computing limit. I couldn't use anymore the Arduino because I had too many sensors and too many things to manage. So I switched basically to a Raspberry Pi. So this is a Raspberry Pi. For anyone that wants information on Raspberry Pi, they can search the web. There are lots of information. It's basically a computer. It has a Linux. You can install different distro on Linux, and has a different connection, wireless, Ethernet, a bunch of USBs. But most importantly, it has a bunch of general purpose input-output pins, which can be connected to different sensors. It also has cameras, connection, and a bunch of other stuff. So to this Raspberry Pi, which I'm going to be used, I'm going to connect a bunch of sensors. And the list of sensors that I have right now is pretty long. I have basically a force sensor, like this one, which I might be using this for the speed controller. So you push this one, it creates a force, it creates some data, and out of that you can measure it and manage the motor speed. Also, I'll be adding a GPS sensor to measure the location of the e-bike. An accelerometer that is behind here. Let me see if I can bring this up. Here, this is an accelerometer. Has 9-axis accelerometer. This is a humidity and temperature sensors. I will have many more temperature sensors for the battery, for the motor, for the ESC, for the BMS, and a bunch of other temperatures. This one is actually a heart monitor. What else? This is a UV sensors. So we'll check the UV index. This is an air quality sensor. So I can measure the COs in air. Current sensor, so I will measure all the current and voltages of the entire Hackebike system. And many more. I'm planning to add also an array, microphone array, so you can talk to the Hackebike, like for example what is used for Alexa or Google, AI speakers, that kind of stuff. Also some AI features that I'm still investigating to be able to do video recognition using the cameras that I can connect to the Raspberry Pi. So right now I'm learning how to use the Raspberry Pi, moving all the code that was working for the Arduino Mega to the Raspberry Pi. So Arduino Mega, you would develop the code in C, basically, and Raspberry Pi instead, since this is basically a computer, you can use C, C++, Python, and many more languages. I noticed that Python probably is the best one, that a lot of the libraries for all these sensors are already ported, so it would be much simpler. But I still have to port all the logic and the state machine that I developed for the Mega. I already started to do that, and I'm a good point. I'm testing bunch of sensors, these ones that I have for the code that is working, and I'm waiting for the other sensor to add the new code, the new features. So just an update, I'm going to leave in the description the list of sensors that I'm going to be using, also depending on how complex the system will be designed and developed. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment. And also please subscribe and put a like to the project. Okay? And I'll see you next video. Thank you very much. Bye.